Today we have a battery with a pretty bold claim. It's the Cubix 100 Pro, and it's supposed to be able to charge in low temperatures. And usually for a lithium iron phosphate battery, that's impossible. Or the battery has internal heating. But this one doesn't. It has special cells that can charge in low temperatures. And they have a base model that doesn't have these special cells, but both batteries are UL listed. And today we're going to test their claims and see if it's true. So the first thing I tested was the capacity. And the Cubix 100 got 104 amp hours, but the Cubix 100 Pro got 107 amp hours. Now the next test was cycle testing with 100 amps. And the base model got 2 cycles and pulled between 104 and 106 amp hours, but the Cubix Pro got 10 cycles. And for most cycles, it pulled 108 amp hours. Next feature we're testing is emergency stop. So if something's wrong with your system, you can shut down the batteries. And it's supposed to be in the app, but I don't see it. And I searched for emergency stop in the manual, but nothing shows up. So we're just gonna plug it in and see what happens. And right now we're charging with 9 amps. Plug it into the front. It works! That was cool. Wow, I like that. We should have that in more batteries. That is great. Now the next thing I tested was low temp charging. And right now it's at 0% state of charge. We're gonna wait until the temperature drops to 0, and then we're gonna try to charge it quickly. Now this will take a long time to get cold, so we'll come back in a couple days. Now we're finally at temperature, 13 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 10 degrees Celsius. So now we're gonna charge with 100 amps. No way. It's actually working. Uh-oh, we're having an issue. And it shows there's no error codes. And it just stopped. We got 10 disconnects. So we're gonna set the cycle count to 1,000 and try the test again. Nope, still disconnecting. So it's constantly disconnecting, but the temperature is rising. Ah, so close. That one was a lot longer. So it doesn't seem to like this 100 amps when it's this cold. Now it says that the state of charge is at 100% when it was at 0% a second ago. Now we're back down to 0% state of charge. So yeah, this state of charge tracking is all over the place. Seems like the software needs some work. So I found the issue after reading the manual. If the battery is at negative 10 degrees Celsius, you can only charge with 12 amps. But he was allowing for 100 amps. I don't know if that's good. It did warm up, but we were exceeding it by a lot. So what we're gonna do now is get it cold again and charge with 12 amps, which is pretty boring, unfortunately, but it makes sense with this chemistry. So we'll come back when the battery's cold again and do the test over. Now for attempt number 2. We're at negative 7 degrees Celsius. We're gonna charge with 12 amps and see if it can do it. So it's not much, but it's doing it. This has to be the most boring test I've done in months. And the temperature is rising quickly. Once we hit 0 degrees Celsius, I'm gonna charge with 100 amps, continue the test, and see what the capacity is. Because at this rate, it will take 9 hours to charge. And we just hit 1 amp hour. This is so slow. I'm gonna increase it, I can't wait. Now we're charging with 100 amps. So right now we're at 2% state of charge, and I'm getting a full charge protection warning, and then it just disappeared. And now it says we're at 100%. This software is all over the place. I'm not impressed. We'll just run this test and see what the capacity is. And the fridge is still running. This thing is still pumping out heat. And now we have some results. And when it first charged, it took 94 amp hours. And then when it discharged, we got 102 amp hours. And when it charged again, we got 106. And right now the battery's at 40 degrees Celsius. So as it gets warmer, we get more and more available capacity. So those results were bad. If the battery is cold and I try to cycle with 100 amps, but it can only charge with 12 amps, it should know this and shut itself down. But Ecoworthy sent an email about this problem. They say they have a new firmware that adds protection when charging below 0 degrees Celsius. If the charging current exceeds the safe current limit, the system will trigger protection and shut down. And it's an over-the-air update, and it will be available on the 20th. Well, when I did my testing, I didn't see that update. So I re-downloaded the app, and guess what? First thing I noticed is emergency shutdown is there. Next, there's an option for firmware update. But every time I try to install it, which I've tried 8 times now, it fails. It doesn't update. So I can't test the low temp charging protection. Why would they send it out without testing that? And the amount of alarms I got when I was cycling this thing was crazy. And the state of charge tracking was horrible. Now a question I have is if the low temperature protection was not properly programmed, maybe the high temperature disconnect has a problem as well. Because I cycled it 10 times and it didn't disconnect. And a lot of metal case batteries can do that, but this one disconnected after 2 cycles. Fast forward a day later and 4 more attempts and we got it to work. And I don't know why it worked, but it worked this time. So now we're gonna throw this thing back in the freezer and do the test again. So new firmware and we're at negative 12 degrees Celsius, but the screen does not match the app. And how is the MOSFET temperature lower than the ambient temperature? So to see if the safety feature works, we're gonna do 100 amps and see what happens. And we've started the test. Those discharge cycles are probably warming up the cells. Let's disable the discharge. So instead of cycling it, this one will only try to charge it. Let's see what happens. And the state of charge is wrong again. It was 0% and now it's 100. And we're getting random error codes. And still pushing about 60 amps into the battery every time. I'm gonna restart the app. I think something's wrong. Nope, still shows 100%. Why does it think that it's fully charged? That doesn't make sense. What is telling it that? Sometimes you'll get 3 fault codes. All right, this thing needs work. Now, if you compare the first test to the second test, there's not that big of a difference. And the blue line on the bottom shows this. The peaks are about the same height. In both instances, I was still able to pass 60 to 100 amps each time. Now, a lot of server rack batteries have a special feature where they can actually throttle the current down to 10 amps and hold it there. And this is just in case you take a 100% battery and you connect it to a 0% battery. They will equalize over time with 10 amps. And I figured this battery would have that feature. Actually, let's open it up and see if it has an inductor, because that will tell us if it has a converter circuit and can regulate the current. Pretty nice build quality though. There is an inductor. They just need better software, that's the problem. This should be able to regulate the current just fine. If they can just regulate that current on charging, it would be perfect. Now once they sort out all the software issues, I'm probably gonna have to do another video and figure out why this one cycles in such a different manner than this one. I think the worst thing was the app. The state of charge going all over the place and the fault codes, that was driving me nuts. So I would say this product is not ready for the market yet and I would not buy it. And I expected better from Ecoworthy. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye.